No one wants us.
Yeah.
We're undesirable characters, and no
Why?
one wants us.
Sono Johnny. Chiamo i Vandals. Sono Benny.
There's an amazing scene with Michael Shannon. He says, "We don't want you." Yes, very moving. But I thought this is Austin Butler and Jeff Nichols' life because your career is based on rejection.
No one wants us.
Yeah.
We're undesirable characters, and no
Why?
one wants us.
Why you base your life on a career that implies a lot of rejection?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's cool.
I always joke I've been just unsuccessful enough to have the career that I have, which I'm very proud of. You know, I think had I made even bigger hits, maybe I would have been scooped up into a system that I wasn't quite ready for. And so, as a benefit of that, I've been able to choose and have time to develop a voice and a point of view. You know, which is a really hard thing to do in this business because movies are expensive. And so I can honestly look you in the eye and say, these movies, they're a part of me. They express something about myself. And so, you know, rejection is a positive in my case.
That's cool. I've experienced a lot of rejection in my life. You know, as an actor, most of my career, up until, I don't know, 6 years ago or something like that, was, you know, I've been doing it 20 years, so it's a lot of time of auditioning and hearing no many times. And they used to tell me in the beginning, expect to audition for 100 things before you can even think about booking one. And so it's just a numbers game in the beginning. You're hearing no constantly. And now I feel fortunate that feeling about you know, I feel very fortunate to get the opportunities that I have now. So the rejection shifts, and now you feel, you know, what I try to remind myself of as far as like public opinion goes is there are going to be people who say the greatest things about you, and there's going to be people who say the worst things about you. And both of them, if you let them in,
Can be true.
they can feel so true. But the negative often feels like it stings in a way to where it becomes a thing that you think about longer. And so I try to just kind of, I realize all that's just noise, and it's the interactions that you have that really matter.
Speaking about interaction, you embody an idea because to me your character embodies youth, adventure, endless possibilities.
Yeah.
So as an actor, how do you play an idea?
I play an idea.
Do you?
I don't think you can. I don't know. I don't think of it that way. I had to try to figure out, you know, we talked about the myth that is Benny, you know, and the fact that you don't see his face in the book or in the images, and so he's this mythic figure in a way. But for me, I can't think of him as this mythic figure. In the same way as I couldn't think of Elvis as a mythic figure, you know, he's a human being who has trauma and love and joy and heartbreak, you know, everything. You know, he's just one of us. And so Benny is the same, and he has his own things that, you know, walls up around his heart. But he had a childhood, and what was that like? And so for me, it was digging into a lot of that no one will ever know. And I kind of like that nobody outside knows that. In the same way as when I look at the images, I don't know. But for myself, I had to know on the inside what that was and who you know, the history that makes me the person that I am in the span of this film.
It's like you play the man, and I'll take care of the interpretation.
Yeah, exactly. Like the way you shoot it makes him.
Yeah.
Choosing to shoot that pool table moment in slow motion is so much more mythic.
Yeah, the camera does the
The camera does it. It's you and Adam Stone, you know?
I have to say that I really hoped for a kiss between Johnny and Benny.
Oh yeah?
Have you ever considered the idea?
No.
Why?
No, maybe I'm limited, but I think we've got to give some credit to Tom Hardy in this moment. You know, I wrote that scene as a man standing in front of another man, offering him something that was very important to him. And I just did press for the first time with Tom the other day, so I got to hear him talk about this scene. And he was like, he used a word that was not on my radar. He was like, it was conspiratorial. Like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you got the other guys over there, and he wants to offer him this club, so I needed to get in close. Now, I didn't write it that way. That word never entered my brain in that scene. But that's what's fascinating about writing scenes that you think are pretty good, and then these actors show up, and through their interpretation of them, without changing any dialogue, they make them great. And that's where that moment came from, where he gets so close, and then all of a sudden, there are these other things going on, you know, that I couldn't have imagined in that scene. It is sensual, seductive, uncomfortable, dangerous, maybe a bit of a turn on. I don't know.
I should ask you. So
Yeah,
next
sorry,
time.
I'll
Next
just be
time.
quiet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.